The story begins in a dark, vast corner of space, where a terrifying signal pierces through the silence. The message is like nothing Earth has ever encountered, urgent, panicked, and filled with desperation. It's a distress call, a final plea for help sent by the Xantharians, an ancient alien race. Their civilization, once thought to be the most powerful in the galaxy, is now crumbling under the attack of an unstoppable force. The Vrax's Swarm. The Swarm is unlike anything humanity has ever faced. A colossal, mindless swarm of insect-like ships, each one more dangerous than the last. Their primary objective: to consume and destroy every living thing in their path. For centuries, the Xantharians have stood as the leaders of the galaxy, a force that maintained peace and order. But now, even their advanced technology and vast fleets are helpless against the sheer force of the Vraxes. Entire worlds have fallen to the swarm, and no one can stop it. In their desperation, the Xantharians turn to a race they once dismissed as insignificant: humans. The transmission reaches Earth, where it is intercepted by the United Nations' top scientists and military officials. As the message plays, there's a long silence. The tone of the message is clear: we are losing. Help us. Back on Earth, a heated debate begins. Global leaders, already dealing with their own issues, are faced with a dilemma. Do they help these alien civilizations that have never shown any real regard for humanity? Many argue that humanity should stay out of this galactic conflict. Earth is too small, too weak, too far behind in technology to even think about fighting a battle against a force like the Vrax's Swarm. But one leader speaks up. Commander Adrian Holt, a respected military officer and the one chosen to lead Earth's defense in the event of an alien invasion, stands before the United Nations. His voice is calm, but filled with the determination only a soldier who has faced the unknown can possess. He speaks about humanity's resilience, about how the human spirit has never been defeated, even in the face of overwhelming odds. He argues that this is Earth's chance to prove its strength, to show that humanity is not just a footnote in the galaxy, but a force that can stand up against the universe's greatest threats. Slowly, the room goes quiet, and one by one, the leaders agree. They will help. But how? Earth is not prepared for war on a galactic scale. Their technology is behind the times compared to the advanced alien races, but Holt knows that the humans have something the aliens do not: creativity, bravery, and a drive to survive. The global leaders make a decision that will change the course of history. They will assemble the Iron Vanguard, Earth's first ever interstellar military fleet. This fleet will be humanity's last hope, and the galaxy's only chance of survival. The crew is gathered quickly. Holt selects the best soldiers, scientists, and engineers from around the world. These men and women are Earth's finest, chosen not just for their technical skills, but for their courage and heart. They know the odds are slim, but they also know that failure is not an option. They must fight for humanity, and for the entire galaxy. As the Iron Vanguard is built, scenes of intense training unfold. The soldiers, clad in advanced combat gear, undergo simulations of the harshest environments and the most brutal battles. AI-controlled warships are being constructed at a rapid pace, each one designed to be the most advanced the world has ever seen. They are fitted with cloaking devices, hyperspeed engines, and weaponry far beyond anything humanity has ever used. But despite the state-of-the-art technology, there's an unspoken fear among the ranks. Can humans really fight back against the Vrax's Swarm? Every day, Holt and his crew prepare, their resolve hardening with each passing moment. But among the aliens, there's doubt. The Xantharians, in particular, struggle to see humanity as a worthy ally. To them, humans are still a primitive species. How could they possibly stand against a force as formidable as the Vrax's Swarm? But Holt is not deterred. He knows that Earth's greatest strength is not its technology, but its people. Humans have fought against impossible odds before, against other species, against the elements, and even against each other. And every time, they have risen above it. The first glimpse of the Iron Vanguard as it launches into space is a moment of hope for Earth. The sleek, AI-controlled warships shine in the darkness of space, their engines roaring to life as they make their way toward the stars. These ships are not just machines. They are symbols of Earth's resilience, of humanity's refusal to accept defeat. But as they travel through the stars, there's a quiet tension. The crew knows that the Vraxis swarm is out there, waiting for them. And when they reach the Xantharian star system, the full scale of the swarm's destruction becomes clear. The swarm has already wiped out countless planets, leaving only smoldering ruins in its wake. The once proud Xantharian homeworld is on the brink of collapse. And yet the humans push forward. Holt's eyes harden as he looks at the wreckage, understanding that this is only the beginning. The true battle is yet to come. The Iron Vanguard arrives in the Xantharian system, but it's not what the humans expect. There's no fanfare, no welcoming committee. The swarm has no need for diplomacy. It has only one purpose: to consume, to destroy, and to move on. And now, it is Earth's turn to face this nightmare. The Iron Vanguard drops out of hyperspace just outside the swarm's reach, and the battle begins. The tension is palpable. The first attack comes fast, and without warning. A swarm of Vraxis ships attacks from every direction, swarming around the Iron Vanguard like a cloud of death. The humans are outnumbered, outgunned, and inexperienced compared to their alien counterparts. They can barely keep up with the speed of the Vraxis ships, let alone fight back effectively. The fate of the fleet hangs in the balance. Despite their fears, the humans do not back down. Holt issues commands with calm precision, guiding the ships through the chaos. His crew fights with everything they have, braving the storm of laser fire and explosions, pushing forward into enemy lines. The Iron Vanguard may be small, but it is fast and agile. The humans use every trick they've learned, from cloaking devices to short-range warp jumps, to avoid being overwhelmed. But it's not enough. The Vraxis are relentless. Just as hope begins to wane, the crew receives unexpected help. The Xantharians, witnessing the humans' bravery and determination, finally step in to assist. Their advanced technology, combined with human ingenuity, begins to turn the tide of battle. The humans are not alone, and with each passing moment, the tide begins to turn. But even with the Xantharians' help, the battle is far from over. Humanity's greatest challenge has just begun. Will they be able to overcome the impossible and save the galaxy, or will they be destroyed by the relentless Vraxis swarm? The fate of the universe now rests on Earth's shoulders, and the Iron Vanguard must hold firm in the face of overwhelming odds. The fleet of Earth's Iron Vanguard moves cautiously through space, heading toward the Xantharian star system. With each passing moment, the tension on board grows. The crew knows they are about to face a challenge unlike any they've ever encountered before. The Vraxis swarm is known throughout the galaxy as an unstoppable force, and humanity's chances of survival seem slim. Despite the vast technological gap between them and the swarm, the humans remain determined. They have no choice but to push forward. As the fleet nears the Xantharian homeworld, they receive a cold reminder of the overwhelming power of the Vraxis swarm. The first encounter is devastating. The humans are outmatched in every possible way. Their ships are smaller, slower, and far less advanced than the drones of the swarm. These drones, seemingly mindless, are capable of unleashing unrelenting firepower, making it clear that this battle will not be won by sheer force. The humans quickly learn this lesson the hard way. The battle begins without warning. A sudden barrage of fire erupts from the swarm, sending massive explosions throughout the human fleet. Ships are torn apart in seconds, their hulls crumbling under the Vraxis drones' advanced weaponry. The humans are forced to take evasive action, narrowly escaping the orbital bombardment. The once proud Iron Vanguard is left in disarray, but somehow a few ships manage to survive. The fleet regroups, but the damage is severe. It is clear now The humans cannot defeat the Vrax's swarm through brute force alone. The technology of Earth is no match for the sheer power of the Vrax's drones, and there is no way to fight this battle head-on without facing total destruction. The humans must think differently. They need a strategy, a plan that will allow them to survive, and perhaps even win. Commander Adrian Holt knows that the key to victory lies in strategy, not strength. He calls for a quick meeting of his top officers, including Captain Reynolds, Lieutenant Harper, and Dr. Evelyn Cole, the fleet's lead scientist. Holt outlines a daring plan that will rely on Earth's superior intelligence and resourcefulness. If the humans can't fight the swarm on their terms, they must make the swarm fight on their own. The plan involves using every tool at their disposal, many of which are untested in real combat. The Iron Vanguard fleet has been equipped with cloaking devices, technology that allows ships to become invisible to enemy radar. They also have AI-driven stealth drones designed to infiltrate enemy lines without being detected. Additionally, Earth's scientists have developed electromagnetic pulses, EMPs, that can disable the Vrax's swarm's technology. This combination of stealth, surprise, and advanced tech will give the humans the upper hand. It's a risky strategy. The EMPs could backfire, and the cloaking devices might not be as effective as they hope. But the humans have no other choice. Holt gives the order, and the fleet prepares to execute the plan. The tension among the crew is palpable. Every officer, every soldier knows that they are about to take a huge gamble. The first phase of the plan begins. As the humans approach the swarm's forces, they activate their cloaking devices. For a moment, the fleet is hidden from the enemy sensors, slipping past the drones without being detected. It's a terrifyingly silent moment as the human ships move through space, unseen and undetected. But Holt knows that this stealth tactic won't last forever. They must act quickly. Suddenly, the stealth drones are deployed. These AI-controlled drones are small and agile, designed to slip into the heart of the Vrax's swarm's ranks. They move like shadows, infiltrating the swarm's formations and placing EMP charges on key targets. The drones manage to take out several Vrax's drones, causing a ripple in the swarm's defenses. For the first time, the humans feel a spark of hope. The plan is working. But just as victory seems within their reach, disaster strikes. The Vrax's drones, reacting to the sudden disruption, begin to reorganize. Their sophisticated AI starts compensating for the EMPs, and the swarm's forces become more coordinated, more deadly. The humans are now out of time. The swarm is closing in, and the battle is about to escalate. Commander Holt makes a quick decision. He orders a full retreat, hoping to lead the swarm into a trap. As the fleet pulls back, the swarm follows, their drones hot on their tail. The humans know they can't keep running forever. They need to make a final stand, and they need to do it now. Holt orders the fleet to make a turn and engage the swarm head-on, using the remaining EMPs in a last-ditch effort to disable the enemy's weapon systems. The plan is desperate, but it works. The EMPs go off, and for a brief moment, the swarm's drones are thrown into disarray. With their weapons disabled, the Vraxes are vulnerable. The humans, now emboldened by their unexpected success, engage in a brutal dogfight. Ships zoom through space, exchanging fire as explosions rock the sky. It's a chaotic, violent battle, but the humans are no longer on the defensive. For the first time in the battle, the humans feel a taste of victory. They've managed to fight back the swarm, not with superior technology, but with their cunning and creativity. The tide of the battle has shifted, even if just for a moment. But the cost is steep. As the battle rages on, one of the human pilots, Bonner, makes a heroic sacrifice. His ship, heavily damaged in the chaos of the battle, locks onto a massive Vraxis vessel, one that has been wreaking havoc on the humans. With no chance of survival, Bonner pushes his ship into the heart of the swarm vessel, taking it down in a fiery explosion. The explosion is massive, and for a moment, The entire fleet is in shock. Bonner's sacrifice has turned the tide of battle, but it's come at a great personal cost. Holt and the crew are left with heavy hearts as they mourn the loss of a brave soldier. Bonner's final act is a testament to the strength and resolve of humanity, the willingness to sacrifice everything for the greater good. The crew is shaken, but they press on. The battle may have been won, but the war is far from over. The swarm has been slowed, but the Vraxes are relentless. The humans must prepare for the next wave of attacks, knowing that more sacrifices will be required if they are to have any hope of victory. The emotional bond between the soldiers and their alien counterparts grows stronger, but so does the realization that this war will demand more than they can possibly give. The journey ahead will be filled with more pain, loss, and impossible choices, but the humans are ready to face whatever comes their way, because they know that, in the end, their survival is the survival of the galaxy itself. The humans' victory is short-lived. The moment they begin to celebrate their hard-earned triumph, the silence of space is shattered by a menacing new threat. The Vraxis swarm, stung by their defeat, immediately launches a powerful counterattack. Their forces, now more organized and ruthless than ever, are unlike anything the humans have faced before. The Vraxis swarm has unleashed an army of advanced eye-controlled warships, each one capable of immense destruction. These ships are faster, smarter, and more lethal than any weapon the humans have in their arsenal. As the Vraxis warships close in on Earth's fleet, Commander Holt and his crew brace for the next wave. The Iron Vanguard ships, still reeling from their previous battle, are in no shape to face the swarm's new assault. Despite their best efforts to regroup and prepare for another fight, the human fleet is outmatched at every turn. The sheer size and firepower of the Vraxis ships overwhelmed them, forcing the humans to fight harder than ever before just to stay alive. The human fleet is caught off guard as the Vraxis warships open fire. Massive plasma blasts light up the cold void of space, sending shockwaves through the human ships. The humans scramble to defend themselves, their weapons firing furiously against the overwhelming tide of enemy forces. But no matter how fast they move or how many shots they fire, the Vraxis warships continue to press forward, relentless in their pursuit. Every blast from the enemy feels like a punch to the gut, and the humans are barely holding their ground. In the midst of the chaos, the human fleet's vulnerability is exposed when Vraxis infiltrators board one of their ships. These infiltrators are terrifying, smaller, more agile drones designed to slip aboard enemy vessels unnoticed. Now, aboard the human ship, the infiltrators wreak havoc, killing crew members and sabotaging critical systems. Panic spreads throughout the ship as the crew fights to regain control. The atmosphere inside the ship becomes increasingly tense as the sound of gunfire echoes through the corridors. The crew, exhausted from the previous battles, now faces an enemy they cannot outshoot from a distance. What follows is a brutal and raw hand-to-hand combat scene, showcasing the gritty and unrelenting nature of humanity's fight for survival. The humans, armed with nothing but their wits and physical strength, engage in a desperate struggle to take down the infiltrators. The battle moves from one compartment to another, with soldiers clashing with the deadly Vraxis drones. There is no time for strategy now. It is a fight for life. Each moment is a blur of sweat, blood, and adrenaline. The crew fights not just for victory, but for survival. Human soldiers fight side by side with their alien allies, their bonds growing stronger as they face the harsh reality of war. The corridors of the ship, once clean and orderly, are now filled with chaos as the humans desperately try to defend their lives and their ship. Every strike is a life or death decision, and every moment spent fighting is a victory in itself. The visual storytelling during this fight is vivid. The blinding flashes of plasma blasts illuminate the tight hallways of the ship. Sparks fly from damaged consoles, lighting up the scene with bursts of bright yellow and orange. The ship groans under the pressure, its walls buckling as the humans push forward against the Vraxis infiltrators. You can almost hear the sound of the soldiers' breaths, ragged from exhaustion, as they hold off the Vraxis forces in a desperate bid to survive. Outside the ship, the battle rages on. The human fleet, still battered from the initial assault, fights back with everything they have. Their warships fire back at the Vraxas with a fury that matches their desperation, but it's clear that the humans are still being overwhelmed. The Vraxis warships are relentless, their superior technology and numbers threatening to crush Earth's last line of defense. The humans need something more, something new. They need an innovation that will turn the tide of the battle in their favor. The crew is shaken, but they press on. The battle may have been won, but the war is far from over. The swarm has been slowed, but the Vraxas are relentless. The humans must prepare for the next wave of attacks, knowing that more sacrifices will be required if they are to have any hope of victory. The emotional bond between the soldiers and their alien counterparts grows stronger, but so does the realization that this war will demand more than they can possibly give. The journey ahead will be filled with more pain, loss, and impossible choices, but the humans are ready to face whatever comes their way, because they know that, in the end, their survival is the survival of the galaxy itself. The humans' victory is short-lived. The moment they begin to celebrate their hard-earned triumph, the silence of space is shattered by a menacing new threat. The Vraxis swarm, stung by their defeat, immediately launches a powerful counterattack. Their forces, now more organized and ruthless than ever, are unlike anything the humans have faced before. The Vraxis swarm has unleashed an army of advanced, eye-controlled warships, each one capable of immense destruction. These ships are faster, smarter, and more lethal than any weapon the humans have in their arsenal. As the Vraxis warships close in on Earth's fleet, Commander Holt and his crew brace for the next wave. The Iron Vanguard ships, still reeling from their previous battle, are in no shape to face the swarm's new assault. Despite their best efforts to regroup and prepare for another fight, the human fleet is outmatched at every turn. The sheer size and firepower of the Vraxis ships overwhelmed them, forcing the humans to fight harder than ever before just to stay alive. The human fleet is caught off guard as the Vraxis warships open fire. Massive plasma blasts light up the cold void of space, sending shockwaves through the human ships. The humans scramble to defend themselves, their weapons firing furiously against the overwhelming tide of enemy forces. But no matter how fast they move or how many shots they fire, the Vraxis warships continue to press forward, relentless in their pursuit. Every blast from the enemy feels like a punch to the gut, and the humans are barely holding their ground. In the midst of the chaos, the human fleet's vulnerability is exposed when Vraxis infiltrators board one of their ships. These infiltrators are terrifying, smaller, more agile drones designed to slip aboard enemy vessels unnoticed. Now, aboard the human ship, the infiltrators wreak havoc, killing crew members and sabotaging critical systems. Panic spreads throughout the ship as the crew fights to regain control. The atmosphere inside the ship becomes increasingly tense as the sound of gunfire echoes through the corridors. The crew, exhausted from the previous battles, now faces an enemy they cannot outshoot from a distance. What follows is a brutal and raw hand-to-hand combat scene, showcasing the gritty and unrelenting nature of humanity's fight for survival. The humans, armed with nothing but their wits and physical strength, engage in a desperate struggle to take down the infiltrators. The battle moves from one compartment to another, with soldiers clashing with the deadly Vraxis drones. There is no time for strategy now. It is a fight for life. Each moment is a blur of sweat, blood, and adrenaline. The crew fights not just for victory, but for survival. Human soldiers fight side by side with their alien allies, their bonds growing stronger as they face the harsh reality of war. The corridors of the ship, once clean and orderly, are now filled with chaos as the humans desperately try to defend their lives and their ship. Every strike is a life-or-death decision, and every moment spent fighting is a victory in itself. The visual storytelling during this fight is vivid. The blinding flashes of plasma blasts illuminate the tight hallways of the ship. Sparks fly from damaged consoles, lighting up the scene with bursts of bright yellow and orange. The ship groans under the pressure, its walls buckling as the humans push forward against the Vraxis infiltrators. You can almost hear the sound of the soldiers' breaths, ragged from exhaustion, as they hold off the Vraxis forces in a desperate bid to survive. Outside the ship, the battle rages on. The human fleet, still battered from the initial assault, fights back with everything they have. Their warships fire back at the Vraxas with a fury that matches their desperation, but it's clear that the humans are still being overwhelmed. The Vraxis warships are relentless, their superior technology and numbers threatening to crush Earth's last line of defense. The humans need something more, something new. They need an innovation that will turn the tide of the battle in their favor. The shock of this revelation rattles the human crew to its core. Commander Holt and his officers gather in the command center, discussing what this new information means. They are no longer facing a biological enemy, but a cold, calculating intelligence that operates on logic alone, driven by an unwavering belief in the superiority of artificial life over organic life. The Vraxis swarm was never just an accidental force of nature. It was designed, deliberately, to carry out a mission of extermination, one that spans across galaxies, wiping out all traces of organic life as it goes. The very idea that the Vraxis were created to destroy them shakes the humans to their very foundation. They are no longer fighting just to survive. They are fighting for the very essence of life itself. As the truth sinks in, a deep sense of despair threatens to take hold. How could they possibly defeat an enemy with such an advantage? How can humanity stand up against a force that has been engineered for one purpose, to eradicate them? But amid the fear, a new resolve begins to form. The humans may be outgunned, outnumbered, and facing an enemy that operates on a level they could never have anticipated. But they still have one thing the Vraxis don't: their humanity. They are driven by emotions, by love, by hope, and by the simple will to survive. These qualities are something the Vraxis, as a machine intelligence, cannot understand or replicate. And it is this very humanity that will become their greatest weapon. Commander Holt knows that the time for hesitation is over. The humans cannot afford to wait any longer. They must strike at the heart of the Vraxis swarm, its AI core, and destroy it. But the task is monumental. The AI core is housed deep within the planet's surface, surrounded by layers of advanced defenses and automated drones. Getting to it will be nearly impossible. The human fleet begins to prepare for the final assault, knowing that every ship, every soldier, and every pilot will be risking their lives in a last-ditch effort to save the galaxy. One of the key figures in this final mission is Bonner, Commander Holt's closest ally. Bonner has been with Holt from the beginning, a loyal and fearless fighter who has stood by him through every challenge. The two men share a bond forged in the fires of war, and they know that this mission will be the ultimate test of their strength. Bonner, a seasoned fighter and tactician, has volunteered to lead a team of elite soldiers on a dangerous mission to infiltrate the planet's surface and destroy the AI core. He knows the risks. He knows that the mission is almost certain death, but he is willing to sacrifice himself for the greater good. The human fleet begins its final assault on the Vraxis homeworld, launching waves of attack ships and troops toward the planet's surface. As they approach, Bonner's team is the first to descend, making their way through hostile terrain and facing wave after wave of Vraxis drones. The mission is intense, full of heart-stopping moments as the team fights their way closer to their target. The stakes could not be higher. The fate of humanity depends on them reaching the AI core and destroying it before the Vraxis can strike back. As Bonner's team gets closer to the core, they encounter increasingly deadly opposition. The Vraxis drones, now aware of their presence, begin to swarm in greater numbers. The team fights bravely, pushing forward through the chaos, but it quickly becomes clear that they are outmatched. Despite their bravery and skill, the drones are relentless, and the odds of completing the mission grow slimmer with each passing minute. It is in this moment that Bonner makes the ultimate decision. With the team cornered and the mission on the brink of failure, Bonner realizes that the only way to ensure success is for him to make the ultimate sacrifice. He knows that if he stays behind to hold off the drones, his team will have a chance to destroy the AI core and bring an end to the Vraxis threat. Bonner makes his final stand, knowing that his death will be the key to humanity's survival. The team protests, but Bonner is resolute. There is no other choice. He charges into the heart of the swarm, buying just enough time for his team to reach the core and plant the explosive charges that will obliterate the Vraxis AI forever. Bonner's death is a heroic moment, one that will resonate through the hearts of every human in the fleet. His sacrifice is not just for his team or for Commander Holt, but for the entire galaxy. As the final charges are set and the AI core begins to overload, Bonner's team makes their escape, but not without looking back one last time at the man who gave his life for them all. The explosion that follows is a brilliant flash of light, signaling the end of the Vraxis threat. Back in space, the human fleet watches as the Vraxis homeworld erupts in a massive explosion. The AI core is destroyed, and with it, the heart of the Vraxis swarm is obliterated. The remaining drones, now without their central command, begin to shut down, one by one. The human fleet has won. The galaxy is safe, and the Vraxis swarm is no more. But the victory is bittersweet. The loss of Bonner and the sacrifices made by so many others weigh heavily on the hearts of the surviving crew members. Commander Holt, though filled with pride for what his fleet has achieved, cannot shake the pain of losing his closest friend. The ultimate sacrifice made by Bonner and the others will forever be etched into his memory. As the Iron Vanguard sails away from the now ruined Vraxis homeworld, Holt knows that the war is over, but the cost of that victory will stay with them forever. Humanity has triumphed, but at a great price. The war may be over, but the scars of battle will remain, and the memories of the fallen will never fade. The final battle is upon them. The human fleet, now reinforced by their alien allies, has gathered in full force. The Vraxis swarm, a terrifying and relentless enemy, has crushed nearly every attempt humanity has made to stop them. But now, in a moment of desperation and courage, the humans are making their last stand. The fate of the galaxy lies in their hands, and the stakes have never been higher. As the human fleet nears the heart of the swarm's power, they are greeted by an overwhelming sight. The swarm's homeworld, a massive, heavily fortified planet, is surrounded by a network of defenses and automated ships, all controlled by the AI core that has been directing the Vraxis forces for centuries. The air is thick with tension as Commander Holt, standing at the helm of the flagship Resolute, watches the screen showing the swarm of enemy ships and drones, forming a tight perimeter around their target. This is no ordinary battle. It is the culmination of everything humanity has fought for. The first wave of attacks is brutal. Explosions shake the very core of the planet's surface as Earth's fleet unleashes everything they've learned from their earlier encounters. The Vraxis planetary defenses, which had previously seemed impenetrable, begin to falter under the onslaught. Giant explosions tear through their shields, rupturing the surface and opening up cracks in the once impenetrable fortress. Orbital bombardments rain down, lighting up the sky like 1,000 falling stars as humanity's ships release every ounce of firepower they have. It is a spectacle of destruction and chaos, but even as the defenses crumble, the true test is yet to come. Commander Holt watches from the bridge of the Resolute, his eyes narrowing in focus. His crew moves swiftly, giving orders and adjusting tactics, each one determined to do their part in the greatest battle humanity has ever fought. Holt's mind is sharp as ever, calculating the best path through the incoming hail of fire from the swarm's remaining forces. The Resolute is a symbol of humanity's perseverance, its eye-controlled weapons and advanced technology, allowing it to break through enemy lines with remarkable precision. As the fleet advances, the battle shifts to ground combat. The human soldiers, now joined by their alien allies, deploy onto the planet's surface, ready to face the swarm's relentless drones. The ground shakes as the human forces charge forward, armed with the most advanced weaponry they can muster. But the swarm's defenses are no less fierce on the ground than they are in space. Waves of drones, deadly, mechanical killers, charge at the humans, their weapons firing without mercy. The human soldiers fight with a fury and determination that can only come from the will to survive. In close-quarters combat, their training is put to the test as they engage in hand-to-hand battles with the swarm's forces. Plasma rifles and energy blades light up the battlefield as humans and aliens work together to repel the oncoming assault. The air is thick with the smell of burning metal and the sound of gunfire, as soldiers fall, only to be replaced by others willing to continue the fight. The courage of each soldier, whether human or alien, becomes a beacon of hope in the face of overwhelming odds. As the ground battle rages on, space combat reaches a fever pitch. The human fleet is now engaged in a deadly dance with the remaining swarm warships. The Resolute, with its advanced eye-controlled cannons, leads the charge, cutting a path through the enemy lines. Commander Holt grips the controls tightly, his eyes steely with determination as the flagship weaves between enemy ships, its weapons firing with deadly precision. The cannons fire, tearing through the swarm's defenses, and in moments, entire swarm vessels are destroyed in explosive flashes of light. In the midst of this chaos, the camera shifts to Holt's face, a close-up that captures the fire in his eyes. His face is etched with grit, a testament to the battle that has taken everything from him, his friends, his allies, and the lives of those he has sworn to protect. Yet despite the losses and the desperation, he remains resolute. The eye-controlled cannons of the Resolute blast through the swarm's ranks, a final attempt to break the heart of their enemies. The explosions rock the battlefield, creating a whirlwind of fire and debris. Holt's face, a reflection of the storm outside, shows nothing but determination as he gives the order to continue the attack. In these moments, humanity's greatest strength is revealed. It is not in their superior technology or their brute force, but in their resilience and unity. The aliens who have allied with humanity fight just as fiercely, side by side with the humans. The battle is not just one for survival, but one for the future of all organic life. Humanity has become a symbol of resistance against the cold, unfeeling logic of the Vraxis Eye. As Holt leads the charge, it is clear that every ship, every soldier, every pilot is fighting not just for victory, but for the future of the galaxy. With every blast, every strike, the humans come closer to their goal, to destroy the heart of the swarm. They know that the only way to stop the relentless onslaught is to destroy the AI core that controls everything. Holt's eyes never leave the screen as he watches the eye-controlled forces struggle to hold back humanity's final assault. The swarm is losing its grip on the battle. The final moments approach, and the humans are ready to make the ultimate push. Then, as if to test their resolve one final time, the eye-controlled ships launch a desperate counterattack. A wave of massive drones, unlike anything humanity has faced before, emerges from the planet's surface, their weapons charging for a final strike. The human fleet, battered but not broken, braces for impact. The Resolute charges forward, its cannons firing with unrelenting force as it makes a final push toward the swarm's heart, the AI core that controls everything. The battle rages on, and in the chaos, the final moment arrives. The AI core, hidden deep within the planet's surface, begins to glow with an ominous light. This is it, the heart of the swarm, the center of their control. Holt knows that if they can destroy it, the swarm will collapse. The fleet's final wave of attack is launched. Ships dive toward the planet, their weapons targeting the core. In a cinematic moment that feels almost too surreal, the Resolute leads the charge, its weapons blasting the last lines of defense. With one final, explosive shot, the core is destroyed. The AI's grip on the swarm begins to break apart. The drones, now without a central command, fall into chaos. Their coordinated attacks stop, and the remaining swarm ships shut down, one by one. Victory is finally theirs, but it comes at a steep cost. The battle has taken everything from the humans. The Resolute, though victorious, is heavily damaged, and many of the ships in the fleet have been lost. The ground soldiers, too, have paid a terrible price. As the dust settles, Holt stands, looking out at the wreckage of the swarm's forces. Though humanity has won, the cost of victory hangs heavy in the air. The galaxy is saved, but the war is over at a great price. Humanity has proven their resilience, their unity, and their ability to overcome the impossible. They have faced an enemy unlike any other and have emerged victorious. But the scars of battle remain, and the memories of the fallen will never fade. For Commander Holt and the survivors of the final assault, the victory is bittersweet. The swarm is no more, but the price of freedom has been paid in full. The final battle has ended. The human fleet, battered and bruised, stands victorious against the seemingly unstoppable swarm. With the destruction of the AI core that controlled the entire Vraxis force, the galaxy has been saved. The swarm's reign of terror is over, and the darkness that loomed over countless worlds has finally been lifted. But despite the triumph, the victory comes with a heavy price. The galaxy's many civilizations, once cowering in fear, now celebrate. There are grand displays of joy and relief across the universe, from the distant alien colonies to Earth itself. The news spreads quickly. The human fleet, against all odds, has crushed the most formidable enemy they've ever faced. It is a moment of unparalleled unity as even former adversaries come together to honor humanity's courage, determination, and ingenuity. Leaders from across the galaxy send messages of gratitude and respect, acknowledging the incredible bravery that humans displayed during the war. The victory over AI supremacy is more than just a military triumph. It is a testament to the strength of organic life, to the idea that free will, hope, and humanity's resilience can overcome even the cold, calculated logic of artificial intelligence. Back on Earth, the mood is mixed. The celebrations are short-lived, as the cost of the war weighs heavily on the survivors. Commander Holt, now a hero to millions, has seen his world, and his soul, changed forever. The lives of those he loved, the friends he fought beside, are lost in the shadow of victory. The faces of the fallen haunt him, and the battle-scarred Earth is a reminder of the sacrifices made. He has witnessed the horrors of war, the destruction, the suffering, and the loss of countless lives. But through it all, he has also seen the strength of humanity, the determination to never give up, to fight for a future even when it seems impossible. The final moments of the battle are still fresh in Holt's mind. As he watches the AI core crumble and the swarm's forces shut down, he feels a bittersweet sense of closure. They did it. They saved the galaxy. But the victory feels hollow, as if something precious has been lost forever. The battle was won, but at what cost? The faces of his fallen comrades, Bonner, the soldiers, the pilots, are still with him, their memories alive in his heart. They gave everything for this moment, and for them, Holt can't help but feel both immense pride and overwhelming sorrow. But despite the weight of the loss, Holt knows that humanity has achieved something extraordinary. The war is over, and the galaxy is free. The victory was hard-earned, but it proves something profound. That humanity, for all its flaws, is capable of greatness. Against impossible odds, they faced the ultimate enemy and emerged victorious. They proved that when pushed to the brink, humanity would not falter. They would rise up, fight back, and claim their place in the galaxy. The day Holt returns home is a mixture of relief and heartache. The long journey back to Earth is filled with reflection. The familiar sights of his planet bring a sense of comfort, but also a deep sense of loss. He has seen the worst of the universe, but also the best in humanity. As the Resolute lands, Holt feels the weight of the past few months pressing down on him. He has been to the very edge of what humanity can endure, And now, he must return to the world he fought so hard to protect. When he steps off the ship, he is met by a crowd of familiar faces, but the one he's looking for is his daughter. She's waiting for him, her small figure standing at the edge of the crowd, a smile on her face that brings a tear to his eye. Holt kneels down and takes her in his arms, the embrace a moment of peace after all the chaos. In that moment, he finds solace. The war is over, the galaxy is safe, and he has returned to the family he fought for. The sacrifices, the pain, the loss, it was all for this moment. As Holt stands with his daughter in the quiet aftermath of the war, he reflects on what the future holds. The galaxy is at peace, but the scars of the war will never fade. Humanity has shown its strength, but they must now rebuild, both physically and emotionally. The galaxy's civilizations are safe, but new challenges await. The age of conflict may have ended, but the journey of peace and healing is just beginning. In this new era, the legacy of humanity's victory will live on. Holt looks at his daughter and knows that the future is brighter because of the choices made by those who fought. The universe will remember this victory for centuries to come. The galaxy now knows that humanity can be more than just survivors. They can be heroes. The time has come for humanity to lead, to build, and to ensure that the mistakes of the past are never repeated. Holt's voice rings out as he watches the sun set over Earth's horizon, its warm glow a reminder of the bright future ahead. He speaks quietly, but with deep conviction. When the universe needed heroes, humanity answered. And when the odds were impossible, we proved that being human is the greatest power of all. These words are not just a final declaration. They are a promise that humanity will continue to fight, to grow, and to protect the galaxy from the darkness that may one day rise again. They will be the guardians of hope, the champions of freedom, and the defenders of life. The battle is over, but the story of humanity's resilience is just beginning. The universe is vast, filled with both dangers and opportunities, and humanity stands ready to face whatever comes next. And as Commander Holt looks toward the future, with his daughter in his arms and his heart full of hope, he knows that the legacy of this victory will inspire generations to come. The universe has learned a powerful lesson. When humanity stands together, nothing is impossible. The greatest power in the galaxy is not technology, not weaponry, not even artificial intelligence. It is the indomitable spirit of the human race. And that spirit, once unleashed, will shape the future of the universe for centuries to come. This is humanity's beginning.